let's do the podcast.
Okay.
All right. As you all know, I don't know how to start the podcast. So it'll either be that or something like, welcome to Late to the Movies. My name's Ben Holt, and this is a podcast where my friends and I get to fill in our movie blind spots. Friends or enemies that mock me while I'm trying to do the intro, either one.
Enemies.
Each week we'll pick a film that either I or guest hadn't seen before. It really should have by now. This week, continuing DCOM May, a whole May long of Disney Channel original movies. It's Smart House, the big one, the one that tops or gets near most of the tops of the charts when people make charts of Disney Channel original movies. I forgot how to pronounce Disney for a second. Already off the rails. It's fine. Guests left, right, across the podcast style. We got Andy.
Hi. And Cheddar.
And Cheddar.
Meow.
And Aquielle.
Meow.
Who Andy forced us to build Cheddar before Aquielle, so that's
Sorry.
Yeah,
He's just right here.
I was going to do the humans first, but
If this was not recorded, I would make a joke. But continue.
Don't.
see now it's like you know, in a horror movie when they don't show the thing and you're like, oh, it's so much scarier in your head than when they actually show it. And I'm just assuming you were thinking the absolute worst possible stuff.
You know she was.
I know she was.
Don't.
I don't always do alts, but I was thinking instead of and really should have by now, I would have done it. Really should have slam dunked the funk by now, but it's too late.
Do it.
No, it's too late. Anyway, before we get to Smart House, quite possibly my favorite bad movie ever made.
Bad.
It looks terrible. I don't know. We'll get into it. This is maybe a Disney Plus problem, but I think it's like the worst quality as far as like the way the thing looks on the platform of like any movie I've seen on Disney Plus, including the other Disney Channel original movies I've just watched, including older ones.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Yeah. Brink is a year older than this. And it looks like I don't know. It's like they filmed it on a flip phone. It looks like freaking Inland Empire. That's a joke only for Voz. He'll laugh. Anyway, have you guys seen anything good lately?
No.
Okay, then we can go through that segment
I
pretty
feel like
quickly.
seen Challengers recently.
Challengers, yes. I was waiting my turn. Yeah. Yeah.
You saw the first like 80-ish% of Challengers, right?
No, I went back. I finished it.
Oh, good.
I think the first half was better, but I think it was good. Like, I don't know. Like, you have to watch. Like, it's such a, like, they really capture a bottom energy of the two guys. The blonde one in particular. They really get it. You should watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Zendaya eats. Someone said that they thought that Anya Taylor-Joy might do better, and I thought maybe. I think Zendaya did just fine.
I think there's more Anya Taylor-Joy movies that I like than Zendaya movies.
I don't agree with you there. But can she pull off the mean, uninterested, but interested? Can she do it?
I don't know. She's kind of doing that in The Menu, which isn't a movie I love, but she's kind of.
Okay. She kind of does that in Queen's Gambit. Very intense and like, you can be in my space, but you're not a priority to me. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the energy. Also, yeah. I didn't know the Queen's Gambit was so serious. I thought we were just like women playing some good chess, and then it wasn't. There was addiction, and I was like, this is really deep and heavy. I don't know. I just wanted to watch some chess.
Thought the girls were out here checkmating and moving their pawns around, but now they're talking about real life issues.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
Last Night in Soho, she's sort of like a gray moral character in that one. I don't know.
Never seen.
Yeah, I haven't watched anything. I'm too busy.
You haven't watched?
I want to go watch Challengers.
Oh,
no. I mean, for like, whoa, what have you watched lately? And then I'm just like, I haven't watched anything, and that keeps happening. I finished the book I was reading. It was really good.
What book?
Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami.
Oh, the one you really ordered the other day that you couldn't finish?
Yeah.
On Libby?
Yeah, so I had to buy it like a schmuck.
Yeah, you schmuck.
So Smart House.
40 minutes later.
40 minutes later. Smart House came out in 1999.
Mhm.
It is perhaps the most 1999 piece of media ever produced. And I can't wait to get into it. Before we do, though, I've seen this movie approximately 5 billion times. How about y'all?
Same.
I'm gonna have to admit this was my first time.
Yeah. And about, I don't know, how you were, 10 minutes into the movie when you texted us you really couldn't use phones and the internet at the same time?
I just don't why. I don't get why not. Like what do you mean you couldn't use them at the same time?
So did you really not know how dial-up internet worked before this film?
I knew you couldn't like if you had the house phone, you could like take up the other phone and listen on somebody's conversation, but I didn't know you couldn't use the internet while somebody was on the phone. Why not?
It was using the same line.
What line of what?
Well, even now, like there has to be something on a cable, whether it's fiber optic or broadband, whatever, that's running into your apartment, that's plugged into your router, that's putting the internet into the air. Mm-hmm. But it still has to be something plugged into the network at some point.
So your phone thing was plugged into the same internet thing, and you had to pick one.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the clearest we'll be able to make it. You had to choose. And sometimes your parents would be trying to call home about dinner or whatever, and you'd be online watching Homestar Runner, and they'd get mad, and they'd have to like call the neighbors, and they'd come over and be like, "Your dad's mad at you. He says you got to get off the internet."
This was in the 90s? This sounds like 19.
This was in the early thousands.
For some of us, it went into like almost 2010.
Yeah, it was only the most built up areas that had like broadband internet.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I wasn't on the phone. Like, who was I talking to? So maybe I just didn't notice.
No, you had friends you saw in person back then. You'd get on your bike and go to their house.
Yes.
But it would make this horrible noise.
Yeah, you've heard the noise, I'm sure. So it was like such a cultural force, this noise, for like 10 years.
Heard it, but never in person. Like, I've never heard it with my own ears in the same room.
It would do it. They weren't like playing it up.
The box? The what?
Yeah, it would come out of your computer speakers.
Oh, computer.
It was just like part of the experience for some reason.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yeah.
Wait, which one of you was born in 93? Who was that?
Neither of us.
Okay.
Right in between, actually. 91, 95.
91, 95. Okay. Yeah, you guys were conscious. Like you were using it.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I wasn't
Who's on
conscious
the
until
phone?
10.
Who's on the internet?
Wow.
I have to make a call, get off the internet.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm doing stuff. I'm playing Neopets or whatever.
My Neopets are going to die if you
play with my Neopets.
Wow. This is like a different world, dude. I guess my kids will say that to me about AI, because I still don't know how to use it for real.
You just yell out loud, "I want a strawberry milkshake."
Oh, yes.
And it throws oranges at me.
And it throws oranges at you. What a great transition. Now we have to keep all of that.
Nice.
All right. Who wants to give us a 1-minute plot summary before we get into it? You pointed at yourself. Thank you for
Nose goes.
Nose goes. Thank you, Aquielle.
Nose goes. You're so sick.
You don't have to if you don't want to. Last time you spent 45 seconds talking about how the characters were secretly gay.
And maybe I'll do that no, I'm kidding. There's no one gay.
It's a very straight movie.
It was a very straight movie. Very, very sweet. I liked it. Okay, so there's this kid. I feel bad for him. He's the parent. It's unfortunate for him, but he's a parent. He's taking care of the house because his sister's mom died, and his dad he's working. He's working, but he's not doing enough. That's fine. So he enters a contest for a house, a smart house. It's gonna do like everything. It's gonna be a mom because he wants a mom, but he doesn't want a woman to be with his dad because then it's like you're gonna love her more than my mom. So they win the house. But he's also being bullied. Sprinkled in there. He's like, he goes to school, he's being bullied. Why are you laughing?
At least not funny.
Yeah, they get the house. They move in, it's all good. It's all nice. It's a good house. It does what they want it to do. They meet the maker of the house, the designer, Sarah, I think. She's really nice. She's pretty. The dad likes her. You can tell. It's so obvious. But then we start to see the house having problems. We're like, oh no, why? What's up? Sarah comes and fixes it. Then her and the dad, they get a little closer. The boy's like, I actually hate this. So he makes the house like he makes it act more like a mother. So the dad is like, oh, I don't even need a wife anymore. Like, what do you mean? And she does too much. The house does too much. Yeah, all sorts of trouble, chaos ensues. I'll skip to the middle. Wraps up. The house materializes as a person. It's a lady. It's a lady, and she's like, I'm all you need. And they're like, actually, no, you're really scary, and we want a person. You want a body. And she gets really sad.
Why did you say that?
You're so close to the end. You just got to push through.
She's really sad. And then she's like, okay, I'll stop. And then she stops. And then the dad and Sarah get together. Why are you laughing?
Keep going.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what happens. Not to cut you off if there's anything else.
No, I'm done. I wish you guys could see Andy's like crying, laughing. Why are you laughing?
Why did you say we want a body? You said no.
I mean, that was a big point. That was a really big point.
Why did you say it like that? No, we don't want you. We want a body.
Yeah, they need some physical interaction,
Just
I guess.
say like a human. I don't know.
We need a living, breathing human here. So a few points. If you're listening on a podcast player which can do this, which most of them can, do yourself a favor. Go back and listen to Aquielle's quote-unquote 1-minute plot summary on like 0.75 speed, and it's going to sound like the drunkest thing you've ever heard. I think it'd be really fun. And then 2, time capsule. I mean, the way the economy is today, if there was even a non-AI infused house, just like a typical 3 or 4 bedroom, multiple baths, lots of hosting space in a nice suburb in Monroe County, more than 8,000 people are signing up for that contest. I think we can agree. This is seemingly not a tax issue. That dad doesn't have a ton of money. He'd be more worried if it was. This is like fairly few strings attached aside from the fact that the house does try to murder eventually. Even before Ryan Merriman, the great Ryan Merriman, one of the icons of Disney Channel original movies starring in this picture as Ben, which is why it was my favorite one. Even before he messes with it to make it more maternal, she does kind of try to kill that bully.
Is that before or after?
No, that was before.
That was before.
Oh, wow.
Wait.
Because she throws the party. She wouldn't have thrown the party. That's only when she was trying to chat GPT her way to how kids have fun.
Oh, true.
Yeah. And eventually it's just sort of holograms and she kind of just pushes him outside. And I don't even think she physically touches him. But at first it seems like real lightning that almost strikes him. Maybe that's also a hologram, but
it looked like it though.
Oh,
anyway,
wait.
she tries to Palpatine his ass.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Eureka. Have you seen Eureka?
No.
The The sci-fi series?
Yeah, I'm very disappointed. You seem like a Eureka guy.
That happened when I was in college, maybe, so I didn't have cable at the time.
Okay.
I'm aware of it.
Okay. You would like it. I grew up on it. You would like it.
The special effects in this are very Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, so gut reaction. This is some of the thickest rose-colored glasses I own go on for this particular movie for me, nostalgia-wise. So
I liked it. I don't think we need them.
yeah. It is a bad movie in a lot of ways, but by the end, I'm like, you know what? It's doing some stuff. It has like a real emotional depth to it that I don't think is necessarily touched in other Disney Channel movies.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad at all.
I don't think so. What's bad about it? Let's dive in.
Yeah,
It looks really bad.
I mean,
take
it's like
movie hat off for a second. Take off the.
It's hard. There's a lot of green screens, and they're not the best green screens they had available in 1999.
But like that's like the wall technology.
I think there's one when Sarah, the hot scientist, is first showing them how it works, and she like scares the daughter with elephants to show like, oh, she doesn't know how kids do. When she steps in front of it, like every time there's about to be a green screen, you can tell because whatever actor is standing in front of a normal wall, half of their face is cut off.
Oh yeah, they do get so fuzzy.
Yeah, and it's particularly egregious when she does that. And then also, this film's directed by LeVar Burton, as I've referenced a couple times in this month. LeVar Burton has like I think 12 Emmy awards, none of which are for directing, and you can see why. Great on Reading Rainbow. He should have taken a look at a book about directing and learned something before he made this film.
What?
Burn. Wait, that's
Butterfly in the Sky.
Guy?
It's probably out of focus. That was a good joke. You cut me off.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's fine. I loved it anyway. Yes, that's the Reading Rainbow guy.
Repeat.
But I said Butterfly in the Sky, and it's probably out of focus.
Oh, snap.
Got his ass. Legend, Star Trek, Roots,
You said it was
10 other things.
Rainbow?
Reading Rainbow.
This black guy right here? Who?
Yeah, that black guy.
You directed the movie?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Where's this reaction coming from? Because I can't interpret what's happening right now.
No, I'm quite happy. Yeah. Wow. I like this guy. I grew up on this guy.
Yes. Yeah. No, LeVar Burton's wonderful, but like as an actor or TV presenter, maybe not as a director.
Butterfly in the sky.
It's probably out of focus.
Nice. Got him again.
Thank you. Got him again. Other names of folks involved in this one. Katey Sagal, who does she gets the hero treatment of she provides her voice to Pat for the whole movie, but only has to show up for like 2 scenes in person at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I like her. I wish she was in it more.
Yeah, she is great. If you remember, Andy, maybe not, you were pretty young, but I remember when this movie was coming out, all the iconography for it, like on the ads, the trailers that they'd show on Disney Channel, certainly the poster and like the cover art of the DVD, if you look it up now, Katey Sagal, as she appears in roughly the last 7 minutes of the movie, is very prominently featured in all of the advertising for it.
Yeah.
You really think that character is going to be corporeal for most of the film, and she's not. When she shows up for those few scenes, she's having the best time, chewing all the scenery, and the movie jumps, I think, a full 1.5 stars in my mind, just because of that the last 10 minutes. It gets so weird and so
it goes
over
down?
the top. No, it goes up.
Oh, it goes up.
I was like,
Up.
crazy.
It gets really good. Anyway, she's at the time doing the voice of one of the main characters on Futurama. This is after All My Children, before whatever the John Ritter show where he died in season 2, 8 Simple Rules, maybe that was the name of it.
Maybe.
And then way before Sons of Anarchy, which she won a Golden Globe for later. But anyway.
She also plays Jake's mom in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes. She's great. That's all I have to say about that. So the movie, though, it's real 90s. Very quickly, we get to one of the many repeated choruses of Jump, Jump, the House is Jumping, which I guess is that whole song.
Jump, jump, the house is jumping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens early. It happens often. Just Ben is hanging out listening to Jump, Jump, the House is Jumping. It's his favorite song, I guess. This is a movie that, like we talked about this on, not that you were on it, but I've talked about this on every episode so far this month. There's so much product placement in Disney Channel original movies. In motocross, it was actual brands that, were sponsoring motocross riders and competitions and in that sport. And this, it's more just like branding and synergy for stuff kids were into, and a kind of Josie and the Pussycats brainwashing, here's the new boy band that everyone loves sort of way. Mm-hmm. Like for the English boy band Five, who do Slam Dunk the Funk.
Where they're doing their little dance.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but that is what young men would do when we got together. We had choreographed dance moves to different boy bands. 8th grade, you're 13. That's the prime age for dancing with your friends. Mm-hmm. We would all do it. Being facetious, it's good.
Oh, I would do that with
Everyone's
my friends.
Reactions is working really well for audio. Yeah.
I would do that with my friends. I thought you were being serious.
Me too. I didn't want to.
It's joking. That's not what guys do. I like that it's an unspoken thing that, yes, Five with Slam Dunk the Funk is happening, so we will do our dance now. They just all know. They all know what's up. They have an arrangement worked out of like, yeah, you stay at, it's sort of like a triangle. You're at the point of it. I'm on the right side. You're on the left.
Yeah.
And these kids are coded as nerds too.
They are.
I don't know. There's one guy who just like is preemptively jumping in lockers. No, they don't, because they all have spiked hair and are obviously not nerdy in any discernible way, aside from they get bullied and one kid is always in a locker.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys don't seem that nerdy to me, but that's okay.
Yeah, there's only like 2 instances of it.
And everyone shows up to the party. Like, it's because they want to check out the smart house, I guess, but it's not like, oh, that kid sucks, I don't want to go to that party. Like, presumably, if they were losers, that would happen.
Yeah. Exactly. Smart house or not.
Even that girl who they use her full name every time she's mentioned.
Classic.
Just so you know she's Italian American, I guess. I don't know why that was so important to the writers of the film. Both of them.
No, I think that's something that like Disney Channel movies and shows do when it's like an important person or like a popular person. They use a full name.
Yeah, Gwen Petroni.
Gwen Petroni. Or the first thing that came to mind was, do you remember Fairly Odd Parents? They would always say Trixie Tang.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's good. It's good stuff. Speaking of...
They do. I don't know.
The writer of this movie also wrote Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century. And I guess because this is where Disney's money went for this, he went to the JPL, NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, to research technology for Smart House and for Xenon. I don't know what NASA was working on. The guy who wrote this movie.
What's his name?
Stu Krieger. Oh. One of the co-writers of this movie and of Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century. Which I have to imagine was more relevant to the latter.
My friend's mom knew Bill Hudson. The other.
Oh, cool. That's fun. But he didn't get to go to NASA, I guess, about it.
I don't think he was involved in Xenon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have to be making 2 for them to send you to NASA, I guess.
I wonder what information they gave him.
Here's what we're thinking. Just say strawberry milkshake.
Yeah.
Thanks, NASA. This is This is why your funding is going to go down the toilet in the next 20 years.
I wonder when AI started becoming a thing. Maybe it was all about AI.
Definitely in the late 90s because of Allen Iverson.
It felt very freaky because I'm like, oh, it wrote his paper. And I was like, oh, we can do that now. Is this kind of scary?
Yeah. So there's some stuff that this is, it wasn't that far in the future, right? They're projecting out not that long because it's so 90s coded stylistically of just like, not so much here's a dystopian future, but more just like, here's a thing that could exist because this technology is being worked on. There's some more fantastical kids movie elements to it, but it's generally pretty sure. A lot of smart technology does sort of not all of what Pat's doing, but a lot of it is like environment control that she's sort of doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which you can control from your phone now, which theoretically you can set up for your, sorry, everyone who has one of these and is listening on speaker, your Alexa or your Google Home to do stuff like that.
Your Hey Google Home. Hey Google.
I'm wearing headphones, so do what you need.
Hey Google.
Hey Siri.
Oh, hey Siri. Alexa.
I've had too many mornings where I'm like trying to get out of bed, but I'm not out of bed yet. And I have to yell Siri at my watch until it lets me turn off my sleep focus. Anyway, so technology in this movie, would this be what you want in a smart house?
Oh, actually, JK, yeah.
Yes.
It's a lot of screens.
Huh?
It's a lot of it is screen based, what Pat's offering. You know?
What do you mean?
It's like, oh, I need to do something. She's like, all right, this whole wall is a screen, so I'm going to show you some stuff. And now you're doing that thing.
No, if I could have her suck the dirt from my floor. What did you mean? Oh my God.
You put that so weirdly. That can't be a normal way to phrase that.
What am I supposed to say? Remove, I guess? But no, she like collects it. Collects.
Absorbs.
Yeah, absorbs.
Is that better?
It's also like what you're describing isn't what happens. And so it's just weird to cite as your number one ask in this situation.
Literally exactly what she does.
It would have been really easy, I think, to have like a Jamiroquai floor where like the whole floor is a treadmill and that's how you do your exercise, but they don't even mess with that. It's very just like sit here and look at this wall.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know. It was only 1999 though. You gotta give her some.
I'm just saying. I know. I'm hard on walls, and I'm banging into them all the time. My balance is terrible, so I'm just gonna break. If those are screens, I'm breaking them.
We know.
I really like her cooking features.
Yes, the food would be good.
The cooking features.
Yeah.
It is sort of like in 1999, looking into a crystal ball and seeing what the good version of that would be, and we have the bad version with like HelloFresh and Blue Apron and shit.
Yeah,
I know. I want somebody to cook for me.
The it was such a humble vision for the future that they had here, and we just as a society could not execute on the best options.
No,
I know, we picked the worst ones.
Yeah,
and it was so smart about it, like programmed by a nutritionist, like giving you good options.
That like Doc Ock tentacle arm that she has sometimes. I feel like she either needs to use it more or not have one. You know?
Yeah.
I like you get the mail for me. Like that's quite nice. Well, I guess I don't read mail.
It's pretty limited for what seems to be like a very long tentacle. She should just be that should be out all the time.
Talk about me. Nothing. Never mind.
It,
Oh my God.
is very Spy Kids, that little tentacle.
Yeah. It is very Spy Kids.
That's what it reminds me of. Question
We'll do
about
Spy Kids one day.
Oh yeah, good movie.
Yeah.
The food, do you think they have to go grocery shopping? Where does she get this food? By she, I mean Pat, like the house.
I'm thinking it's it's like a Soylent situation where she's really just rearranging the same stuff. It probably all tastes the same.
What?
I disagree.
She's like
really
3D
malfunctions.
printing edible foam.
But when she malfunctions and like is throwing like hundreds of oranges, does she just have 100 oranges?
She's making them. She's converting the atoms into oranges.
Yeah, it's on that. I guess it's not quite an island, right? It's more of like a peninsula at the end of the kitchen counter that they sometimes are having breakfast at, that the thing pops out of with the food. Yeah. It's all in there.
Where does I don't know.
Yeah.
When I was a kid watching that scene, it was so scary.
Oranges?
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, this house is attacking them.
And that's, I guess, a setup for later when Ryan Merriman says to Pat, like, you see how they protected us with their bodies? You can't do that.
Yeah,
you don't have you ain't carbon based. Get out of my fucking life. Yeah, bodies. We want a body. Okay.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of projectiles lately, and we're children. So we need carbon-based life forms as parental figures, okay?
And that is just like such a
she can't help that.
She can't help that, but that's such a crazy thing to point out as a need. Like, we're getting things thrown at us a lot. And we need shields. We need human shields.
Or fucking 3D print us some helmets, because like it's got to be one or the other, and we don't want to wear helmets.
That is just like such a crazy point to flip the switch on her, to be like, oh no, I can't be a human shield. They're right. They get stuff thrown at them all the time.
And she's like, I'm so sorry. You were right the whole time.
Yeah.
I underestimated the need for a meat shield in this family.
For physical protection, for a barrier between you and all these things I throw at you.
That's what family's about, Pat, okay?
Jesus.
It's that meme of the soldier blocking a sleeping child from thrown knives. That's what family is.
It's family.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So we agree the technology, not all the way there, but a more optimistic vision of what was probably, I guess, 5 years-ish in the future of what they thought in 1999. Because they thought, 110-pound boys wearing 3XL FUBU shirts was going to still be in whatever time period this was taking.
He ate. As a Gen Z, I feel like his fits were always on point.
I know. I felt what made me feel older even than you asking, was that like, is that fantasy? You couldn't use the phone and the internet at the same time. Was like looking at the styles in this and being like, the baggy shit's back and it looks so stupid. And like, I was there and I remember it. I don't need to go back. But the dad has some style going on. It's a lot of like, it's like an open flannel shirt over just like a white tee. And like, okay, I get it's not bad. Yeah, it's like a nice sweater. All right.
Yeah.
I wasn't even paying attention. I was only paying attention to the boys' fits.
And I knew when I was rewatching it today, I was like, Aquielle is going to love these outfits.
Yeah, absolutely. The first time we meet Gwen, she's dressed like a middle-aged real estate broker, but it's, it's all right. She's wearing like a Fran Drescher pantsuit.
Yeah.
It's quite strange.
Fran Drescher's got style.
Yeah.
We should do a whole episode dedicated to every episode of The Nanny.
And just treated it as like one movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be the longest one we've ever done.
What do you
It
say?
fits. I'm looking at, okay, wait, let me share my screen. I wish everybody could see, but oh well.
Okay.
What are you looking
This is
at?
going to play for the podcast.
Okay, look.
All right.
Look at
She's
her
broadcasting. I'll watch your stream.
Watch stream.
Yeah, no, that makes sense that you'd like that.
Both of them. I would wear both of those outfits. And like the what little stars on the pants.
It's
I could
really
see some
depressing
New
that this
Yorker
is what it is.
Yeah.
That just is streetwear. It's
Look how
It's
baggy
good. With
their
the
pants
shoes?
are.
Yeah. It like
you pay like $300 at Abercrombie for this, and it'd be on like a landing page for like, in this collection we play with scale.
I had that little girl's haircut.
So Katey Sagal shows up as Pat at the end. She's doing the mid-century kind of, I Love Lucy vibes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She doesn't blink a lot. She does blink a couple times, but not often.
Mm.
And speaking of eating, she is chewing the scenery, going so big. And I love everything about her performance. It's fantastic.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was gonna be more traumatic. And they were making when they were making the hologram, I thought it was gonna be the dead mom, and I was like, "Where's this going? Like, let's really get into the trauma." But then they didn't, and I was like, "That's probably a good choice for Disney." But I was like, "We should explore that."
Because there are the sort of emotional depths, I guess, for a kid's TV movie that it goes to, where Ryan Merriman's watching the old home videos for a while and like crying, and the sort of like pretty raw conversation he has with his dad after the last time that he's really rooted dinner to Sarah. For it to go so fucking goofy at the end, I just appreciate that. Like, get you a kids movie that can do both, I guess.
I agree. I like how his dad apologized. Like, he was real. He was like, "Yeah, you should not be living like that." But
yeah, that was again like a theme throughout these movies. Not last week, a theme in Brink and in this movie. It's pretty solid 90s dads. Good 90s dads. They're able to see from the perspective of the kid and have like some honest conversations with them and treat them like, their own person. Just modeling good dad stuff, He
didn't let it slide, but he wasn't, too harsh.
Yeah. He kind of looks like the dad from Boy Meets World, which I guess is maybe how he was getting some work. But 90s dads.
Yeah. Good dads.
Yeah. I mean, this guy would be like an influencer for like, more than a few, men's fashion for aging millennials people come up in my reels these days. And this guy looks like them.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah, this is the same little sister from Brink. This was sort of her corner for a while.
Does she have the same haircut?
She does. I think it's closer to a bob in Brink, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a bowl right now.
Yeah, this is more of a bowl cut.
But this was like the classic little blonde girl's haircut at the time.
You have that?
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah, I had that haircut.
Dude.
Same exact haircut.
Every blonde girl had this haircut in 1999.
I think so. The little Dutch boy.
They all had it. Yeah, they all had the Dutch boy.
Jesus Christ.
No, the one image I had up at the time looked longer than literally every other image I've seen. So I do think this is basically her haircut in Brink also, now that I see it.
Yeah, it's classic. That was a haircut. All boys with brown hair had spiky gel in it.
God, yeah, the spikes.
Wow. We had like Justin Bieber hair.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. What Ryan Merriman, Ben, in this movie has is like a fairly conservative version of the spiked hair. A lot of it was a lot closer to what the bully had.
Oh, God.
which was like aggressively shellacked. Like you can see there's like a white residue keeping it all together kind of thing.
Jesus, that's a lot.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't the best.
So do you think the dad and Sarah get married?
They're
I hope-
vibing.
They have really good chemistry. Also, can we talk about that kiss bar? I'm gonna have to take that. I'm gonna have to take it from him.
What?
Yeah. When he was like, she was like, "Oh, I want something sweet. I want chocolate," and he put out a Hershey kiss. Taking it. I'm stealing it. That was good. That was smooth.
Just have one like on hand.
On hand at all times. Yeah.
I can think of times that would have been useful, but I can also think of times that opportunity doesn't present itself, and then you're just worried the whole night about crushing chocolate in your pocket.
Yeah, like melted chocolate. You pull it out and it's melted.
I got something for that. You said like a chocolate stained hand emerges from your pocket.
Yeah.
They're like, what the fuck?
Your weird melted unwrapped chocolate.
I mean, it's a thought that counts.
I got a couple of fucking Lucy's of just fucking Hershey kisses. Yeah, so some unwrapped Jolly Ranchers.
I was literally gonna say some unwrapped Jolly Ranchers. That'd be so funny. Lollipops with no wrapper.
So nasty.
He's affecting not completely nerdy, but like, I mean, this you can tell this dude is catnip for lonely women. I
I would be too.
Great with kids.
Yeah.
He's got a good sense of dad 90s style.
He does.
And has like a sort of like endearing amount of awkwardness, but is still not so awkward that he's not like asking her out and like going for it and like getting her number.
Exactly.
He's in the zone.
Yeah, and it sounded they like set her up to have dated like real losers and like cat burglars or something.
Yeah, a substantial list of criminals is provided, and that is a red flag.
That is a red flag.
That's one of the first things she tells him about herself.
Like, I have been through it. Why would you say that?
I seem to attract certified lunatics who have gone to prison.
Yeah. Like, that is crazy. That's a crazy thing to include in this movie. Like, they didn't have to do that.
Kind of gloss over it. They make like a joke out of it.
Yeah.
Later on, she does like a kind of like fun self-deprecating, like, oh wow, are you sure you have the right number? If you're like asking me out, because I normally date legitimately like insane people, like clinically
criminals.
I exclusively date the criminally insane.
Yeah.
It's got, yeah, I mean, her roster looks like the intake list at Arkham Asylum. Am I right? Anyway.
Nice.
I've been watching Justice League.
There you go. You get a good reference then for you.
Yeah. It's good. It's so good.
Should we talk about her publisher or like media person?
Yeah, Miles, I want to say.
Yeah, I think it was.
These guys were always named Miles in movies like this and always had like night sunglasses and leather jackets at all times.
Yeah, amber sunglasses inside.
Yeah. And the funder,
yeah,
who seemed to have been a random man they found on the street because they forgot to cast that part until the day of or something.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We need you to say 3 lines. Everyone else, there's going to be a couple characters who have a whole scene about how important you are. You're going to show up for a cumulative 30 seconds.
He did good. He did good.
Yeah, his one scene is like, whoa, 8,000 people. You guys did a good job.
Yeah.
And then his next scene is like is just the end of a speech in which he turns it over to someone else. It's like, okay, well, he got paid. He had lines. It's good for him. He got health insurance from SAG that year.
Nice. Something else that I thought was weird, a little character that I didn't see. It was like a weird setup. and a weird introduction was the butler rat.
He is set up to be like a pretty big important or a pretty big part of like Sarah's whole deal.
Yeah.
And I don't think that actress liked the rat because she doesn't interact with him more than just that one scene, really.
I wouldn't either. I thought he was a regular rat. I'm like, why are we touching him? What's going on?
Yeah, and in a smart house that they just built, why is there a perfectly sculpted little mouse hole in the wall?
She put
her later for when Pat tries to murder everyone.
Yeah.
And she needs to get a message through.
With her pet rat.
Yeah, like World War I style, needs to transmit a message.
Like, how does Pat not know there's a mouse in the damn house? She not know?
Come on, Pat.
Yeah, girl.
Not so smart after all.
Yeah, you can just... This child can say 3 words out loud and your fucking breathalyzer technology knows how much iron he's had that day.
Yeah.
But you don't know there's a full living rat passing enemy secrets.
Also, that little girl had measles at one point.
Yeah.
That's kind of late, I think, to still have been having measles.
We'll have measles right now. The mom felt like she would give vaccines. Both the mom and Sarah, though. I'm just like, well, you know, Sarah's gonna give you a vaccine. She is.
I've mostly been joking. It's just fun.
Yeah,
but Sarah definitely has to be pretty pro-vaccine. She's a lady of science.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She probably like, this little girl had measles.
Yeah, it's like I thought. Okay, learning more about this guy, I thought he was like a really good single father. Seems to have a really good handle on these kids.
Yeah.
Why's your daughter getting measles, dude?
Yeah. Is this a chickenpox party?
Maybe some like I don't know, like some morals that were maybe not aligned on here. I don't know.
Yeah, but huge red flag.
That's a huge red flag. Yeah, your daughter shouldn't have measles, bro. Sorry. A French doctor once thought I had measles.
Whoa. Why were you in France? Doctor?
Yeah, I went to France, and on my way there, I got sick, and I had like this weird like swelling thing. It was like all up in here and shit.
You mean mumps?
It wasn't that either because, you know, in America we vaccinate. But we went to go to a French doctor who was using a French to English dictionary. And he told me he was checking me for missiles. And we were like, what do you mean? Then he actually like showed us measles in his like medical French to English dictionary. And we're like, oh, measles. And we were like, no missiles. Not in America.
Oh, it's so cute.
I don't think I've ever got positive confirmation of what was happening to my face, but it went away after a couple days.
It was like a swollen lymph node.
Yeah, it was something like that. They gave me a thing to like pour in my ear. That seemed to help.
An ear infection, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know.
But it was.
They didn't explain it in English, and like most Americans, I am uncultured and only speak the one language, so.
If you could speak another language, what would it be?
That's a great setup for a joke, and I just didn't have something quick enough. And it'd be too sweaty if I said something funny now. It wouldn't be funny. You gotta be immediate with shit like that.
Yeah.
Just because we were talking about LeVar Burton and Star Trek briefly before, my mind went to Klingon, and it's like, that's old hat, that's hacky. That's like a joke that they would have done in the 90s.
Yeah. I think you can still make it. I mean, everything is coming back.
No, it's happy.
The fits certainly are.
The fits are fine. Yo, the little boy and little girl, they ate. Their fits are dope.
When Pat's like, I could tell from your brainwaves that this is what you would have picked today. And it seems to just be like a lavender jumpsuit.
No, literally. I'm like, what?
And she's like, you're right. I was going lavender jumpsuit today. You know, you get me, Pat. Anyway, any final thoughts on Smart's House? Smart's House. Oh no.
Oh
I'm tired.
no. I think it's an excellent movie.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I like
All right. Let's see how that's reflected in your ratings on a scale of 0.5 to 5 on any scale you're choosing, aside from stars. What would you give LeVar Burton's Disney Channel original movie classic, 1999's Smart House?
Okay, I'll go. 4.5 lavender jumpsuits. I took that. I stole it.
Nice. What was the number?
4.5.
4.5?
Yeah.
You're whispering.
I'm whispering.
Yeah. Wait, the camera keeps only getting 0.5 because your head is out of frame when you start your sentences.
I feel like I'm like so close to my microphone. I feel like I'm like right up in your ear.
You're literally whispering.
Hey. Anyway, yeah, you're going straight ASMR on this. I don't have a good scale yet. So Andy, if you want to go.
I'm giving it 5 out of 5 strawberry smoothies. You know it, girl.
I'll go 4.5 out of 5 adults that are only good as meat shields out of 5.
Human shields.
That's all we really need from parents, Pat, and you can't do it.
You can't.
You don't have the capacity.
They could have went the like you're the one hurting us route, and they didn't, and I don't know why they didn't.
Yeah.
We are constantly getting things thrown at us.
A real human mother wouldn't be attacking us and imprisoning us.
Yeah. Kidnapping.
Not just like, this would all be fine if I could hug you.
After I hurt you. Yeah.
Anyway, obviously, Sarah just fixes her programming at the end.
Yeah. And everything, but she still has her face.
Weirdly, how Dave kills Hal in 2001: A Space Odyssey.
What did you say to me?
So I think this movie is a Kubrick homage. The question I've been asking throughout this month to tie everything together: what's a movie that you just kind of had on repeat? Disney Channel original movie or something else as a kid that was just always on, whether it was on a TV movie, something on VHS, whatever.
Ooh. I remember my sister watching Beauty and the Beast a lot. And I liked watching Aladdin a lot.
Nice. Speaking of Beauty and the Beast, one of the fun product placement-y, I guess, company synergies is I think it's Ben references Belle or Ariel at one point. Anyway.
Oh yeah, what?
I'm forgetting the context, but that just stood out to me. It was like, yes, we know this is a Disney product.
Yeah, and like the Disney, like Mickey Mouse led orchestra.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I was gonna say not as explicit as just like here's a conductor wearing a Mickey costume.
Yeah.
You're gonna wake up to him and he's 12 feet tall, looming over your head. Your fucking sleep paralysis demon. What was yours, Aquielle?
I don't even know. I like did not get conscious until I was like 16. If I had to remember, I think like Percy Jackson.
All right.
Is that Disney?
No. Whoa! Who made it? I don't think so.
The Chris Columbus directed film. I only know that because I literally had a conversation about that movie earlier today.
Wow.
So my sister is currently showing it to her kids in class. Because they're reading the Percy Jackson books. And it's MCAS right now. So when they're not testing the classes that she's having, she's having them watch the movie. The one that's from like 2010-ish or whatever.
I don't even know what they have. I don't even know. Dude.
They're all really liking it, even though apparently it's quite different from the book. So
it is very different. And he's also old as hell. Logan Lerman, who's old as dirt.
What's this kid? 16? Gross.
He's supposed to be 12. He's supposed to be a boy.
Well, it just about does it for us. We'll see how much of that hour and 40 minutes is keepable. Any final thoughts on this or Disney Channel movies in general? Or
just so good.
Good. This is probably my favorite of them. So I'm glad we got to do this. Aquielle, you're getting some real millennial cultural touchstones out of the way between Superbad last time and this one this month.
Mm-hmm.
Next time we're doing a Gen Z film.
That's tough because it's got to be like movies that are like,
good.
You know, movie. I can't believe you haven't seen X movie, like a classic. Not saying it's not that. It's just hard to do more recent movies that fit into that.
I guarantee I probably haven't seen most movies.
Yeah, well, that's why we got to do Barbie the month or two before that.
Exactly.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you were one of the two other people on this that could see us, you find yourself late to the link trees. That's Linktree. Wait, no, it's linktr.ee/late to the movies. That's where all our stuff is. Thank you to Andy, then Cheddar, then Aquielle for being on this episode. I hope you had a good time.
You're gonna cut that. I know you are.